Have you ever felt the ground beneath your beliefs tremble, as if the world you thought you knew was a stage set, its curtains suddenly parting? Share in the comments, what truth did you stumble upon that made everything you once held certain feel like a fragile illusion? The moment you begin to see the truth is not a trumpet blast or a lightning strike. It is quieter, subtler, like the first crack of dawn splitting the horizon. You don't choose it, it chooses you. One day, you're walking through the familiar corridors of your life, the routines, the certainties, the stories you've told yourself about who you are and what the world is, and then, without warning, a single realization pierces the veil. A conversation overheard, a book that lands in your hands like a message from the universe, a fleeting glance in the mirror where, for the first time, you see not just your face, but the mask you've worn for years. And in that instant, the scaffolding of your reality begins to sway. Truth is not a destination. It is a force. It moves through you like wine through a house of cards, unsettling what you thought was solid. You might notice it first in the small things, the way a politician's promise rings hollow, or how a friend's smile hides a quiet sorrow. Then it grows. You see it in the systems that govern your days, the rules you follow, the goals you chase, the fears you obey. You begin to question, why do I believe this? Who told me it was true? And the more you ask, the more the world answers. Not with words, but with revelations that unravel the fabric of your old certainties. This is the paradox of awakening. To see the truth is to be set free, yet freedom begins with collapse. The moment you glimpse what is real, you also see what is not. The beliefs you clung to about success, about love, about right and wrong, start to crumble like dry leaves. It hurts, not because the truth is cruel, but because it is vast, and you are small in its presence. You thought you were standing on solid ground, but now you're falling, or perhaps floating, in a sea of questions. The pain comes not from the truth itself, but from the letting go, the surrender of the stories that once kept you safe. Imagine a room filled with mirrors, each reflecting a version of you. One mirror shows you as the dutiful worker, another as the loyal friend, another as the dreamer who never dared. For years, you believed these reflections were you. But then, a single ray of light, a moment of raw, unfiltered truth cuts through the room. The mirrors crack, the images blur, and for the first time, you see not the reflections but the light itself. It blinds you. It warms you. It reveals that the mirrors were never you at all. They were stories, crafted by time, by others, by your own need to belong. The truth is not the shattering of the mirrors. The truth is the light that remains. Yet this light is not gentle. It exposes. It demands. To see the truth is to stand naked before the world, stripped of the costumes you wore to fit in. You might notice it in the way society rewards conformity over curiosity, or how fear masquerades as practicality. You see it in the headlines that manipulate, in the silences that speak louder than words. The truth is not a single fact, but a way of seeing a lens that sharpens the edges of everything. And once you put it on, you cannot unsee what it reveals. The world is not what you thought. Neither are you. The realization is both a gift and a wound. It is the gift of sight, the wound of loss. You lose the comfort of certainty, the illusion of control. You gain the clarity of questions, the courage to wonder. But this courage is not triumphant. It is trembling. To awaken is to stand at the edge of a cliff, knowing you must leap, but not yet seeing where you'll land. The old world, the one built on half-truths and convenient fictions, begins to dissolve like mist at sunrise. And in its place, something vast and unknown begins to form. You are not yet ready to name it. You are not yet ready to live in it. But you feel it like the first breath of a new season. This moment of realization is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the spark that sets the fire, the crack that lets the light in. You may feel alone, but you are not. Every soul who has ever awakened has stood where you stand now, caught between the collapse of the old and the birth of the new. The truth does not ask for your permission. It does not wait for you to be ready. It arrives, unbidden, and whispers, "Look, see, begin." The pain of this awakening is real, but so is its promise. To see the truth is to feel the world expand, not just around you, but within you. You are not just a witness to reality, you are part of it, woven into its mystery. The discomfort you feel is the stretching of your soul, the growing pains of a mind learning to see beyond its own edges. The masks fall, not to leave you exposed, but to reveal what was always there. A self that is not defined by stories, but by its capacity to seek, to question, to become. And yet, the paradox remains. The truth sets you free, but it does so by breaking you open. It dismantles the walls you built to feel safe, leaving you raw, vulnerable, alive. You may want to turn back, to rebuild the illusions, to retreat into the familiar dark. But the light, once seen, cannot be unseen. It lingers, calling you forward, even as you mourn what you've lost. This is the first step of awakening, to see the truth and let it change you. Not because you chose it, but because it chose you. As you stand in this moment, the world feels both heavier and lighter. Heavier because you carry the weight of questions you cannot yet answer, lighter because you are no longer bound by answers that were never yours. The realization is not a conclusion, it is an invitation. Something deeper is beginning a journey not to a destination, but to a way of being. The truth is not a place you arrive at. It is a path you walk, a dawn you chase, a mirror you learn to see through. If truth sets you free, why does it hurt so much to see it? Share your thoughts below. What has the truth revealed to you, and how has it changed the way you walk through the world? Have you ever felt your sense of self unravel? As if the person you thought you were was a shadow cast by someone else's light? Share in the comments what part of your identity shook when you faced a truth you couldn't ignore. The truth, once glimpsed, does not let you rest. It lingers like a guest who overstays, rearranging the furniture of your mind. In the wake of realization, you stand at the edge of a chasm. The old you, the one built from borrowed beliefs, polished habits, and comfortable lies, begins to fray. This is the discomfort of awakening. It is not loud or dramatic. It is a quiet erosion, a slow peeling away of the skin you thought was yours. You are not who you were, but you are not yet who you will become. The discomfort is a paradox. It is both a cage and a key. You feel trapped, yet you sense the door swinging open. The truth has shown you the world's illusions, the systems that reward compliance, the stories that keep you small, but now it turns inward, shining its relentless light on you. Your identity, that carefully crafted mosaic of roles and masks, begins to crack. You are the dutiful child, the driven professional, the optimist who smiles through doubt. But are you? The truth whispers. These are costumes. Who are you without them? This unraveling feels like betrayal, not by the world, but by yourself. You trusted the stories you told yourself, that success would bring happiness, that love would be enough, that certainty was safety. Now, as the truth strips these away, you stand exposed. The mirror no longer flatters. It shows a stranger, not the polished image you curated, but a raw, unfinished soul full of questions. The discomfort is not just in seeing this stranger, but in realizing you've been living as someone else's reflection all along. You may try to cling to the familiar. You reach for the old scripts, the job that defines you, the relationships that anchor you, the beliefs that once felt like home, but they no longer fit. The truth has stretched you beyond their edges. You feel like a snake shedding its skin, caught between the old and the new, neither fully one nor the other. This in-between is a desert. It is lonely. It is necessary. The discomfort is not punishment. It is preparation. Picture a house you've lived in all your life. Its walls are painted with your memories, its rooms furnished with your certainties. Then, one day, the truth arrives like a storm. The windows shatter. The roof caves in. You stand in the wreckage, clutching pieces of what was, wondering how to rebuild. But the truth does not ask you to rebuild the same house. It asks you to walk away, to wander into the open, where there are no walls to hide behind. The discomfort is the weight of this choice, to stay in the ruins or to step into the unknown. This stepping out is not heroic. It is terrifying. The truth has shown you that much of what you called you was a performance, a role you played to belong, to be seen, to feel safe. Now, as those roles dissolve, you feel untethered. Who are you if not the worker, the partner, the believer? The discomfort lies in this question unanswered. It is the ache of not knowing, the vertigo of standing without a script. Yet within this ache is a pulse, a faint rhythm of possibility. The truth is dismantling you, but it is also setting you free. The world does not make this easy. It prefers you predictable, contained, obedient to its rules. As you awaken, you may notice its resistance. Friends grow distant when you question what they accept. Systems push back when you refuse to conform. Even your own mind rebels, craving the comfort of old certainties. The discomfort is not just internal. It is a friction between you and the world you no longer fit into. You are becoming a stranger to the life you once lived, but there is beauty in this strangeness. The discomfort is a sign that you are growing. It is the stretch of a mind learning to hold paradox, the strain of a heart learning to beat without a cage. You are not falling apart, you are falling open. The truth is not destroying you, it is revealing you. The roles you played, the masks you wore, they were never your essence. They were scaffolding, temporary and fragile. The discomfort is the sound of that scaffolding collapsing, leaving only what is real. This phase of awakening is not about answers. It is about questions. Who am I when the masks are gone? What matters when the illusions fade? The discomfort is your guide, though it feels like your enemy. It points you toward the parts of yourself you've ignored, the truths you've buried. It asks you to sit with the uncertainty, to feel the weight of not knowing, to trust that something new is being born. The desert is not empty. It is fertile with possibility if you can bear its vastness. The truth does not promise comfort. It promises growth. And growth is messy, uneven, painful. You may long for the days when you didn't see, when the world was simpler, when you fit neatly into its boxes. But those boxes were never your home. They were your limits. The discomfort is the price of stepping beyond them, of becoming more than you were told you could be. As you navigate this unraveling, you sense a shift. The pain of losing your old self is real, but so is the quiet thrill of discovering what lies beneath. The truth is not done with you. It is leading you somewhere, not to a destination, but to a way of being. The discomfort is not the end. It is the bridge. Something deeper is stirring, a clarity waiting to emerge from the chaos. You are not lost. You are becoming. What part of your identity have you let go of, and how has it changed the way you see yourself? Share below what discomfort has the truth brought you, and what possibilities do you sense in its wake? Have you ever felt a moment of stillness where the world's chaos suddenly made sense, as if you glimpsed the pattern beneath the noise? Share in the comments what truth brought you a fleeting sense of peace, even amidst the storm? The discomfort has carved you open. The old certainties are gone, scattered like ash. Yet from this emptiness, something new emerges, clarity. Not the clarity of answers, but of vision. It is as if the fog lifts, and for the first time, you see the world not as a maze, but as a vast, unbroken horizon. This is the third phase of awakening. It is quiet, like the pause between breaths. It is profound, like light falling on a place long shadowed. Clarity does not arrive all at once. It comes in glimpses, fragile and fleeting. One moment, you're caught in the turbulence of questions. Who am I? What is real? And the next, you feel a stillness settle in. You notice the way sunlight dances on a leaf, or how a stranger's kindness reveals a shared humanity. The truth, once a force that tore you apart, now begins to weave you back together. It shows you that the world is not just a place of illusions, but also of beauty, raw and unscripted. This clarity is not certainty. It is not a map with every path marked. It is a lens, polished by your struggle, that lets you see what matters. You begin to discern the difference between the noise of the world and the quiet pulse of truth. The systems that once confined you, the chase for status, the fear of judgment, lose their grip. You see them for what they are, shadows cast by fleeting things. In their place, you sense a deeper rhythm, a current that flows beneath the surface of life. It is not loud, but it is steady. It calls you to listen, Picture a river after a storm. The waters are muddy, turbulent, full of debris. But as the storm fades, the river settles, the silt sinks, and the water clears. You see the stones beneath smooth and ancient. This is the clarity of awakening. The discomfort was the storm, stirring up what you thought you knew. Now, in its wake, you glimpse what endures, the truths that are not built or broken by human hands. Love, connection, the fleeting beauty of being alive, these are not answers. They are anchors. This clarity brings peace, but not the kind that numbs. It is a peace that sharpens. You feel more, not less. The world's pain is still there, but so is its wonder. You begin to see yourself not as separate, but as part of it all, a thread in a vast tapestry, woven with purpose, even when you can't see the pattern. The clarity is not about knowing everything. It is about trusting that you don't need to. You are enough, not because you are complete, but because you are becoming. Yet this peace is fragile. The world will pull at you, tempting you back to its illusions. Doubt will creep in, whispering that clarity is a fleeting dream. But each time you return to the truth in a quiet moment, in a question that cuts through the noise, the clarity grows stronger. It is a flame, small but persistent, lighting the way forward. The clarity of awakening is an invitation to live differently. Not perfectly, but honestly. You begin to move through the world with new eyes, seeing beyond the masks, the roles, the fears. You sense that something deeper is unfolding, a purpose not imposed but discovered. The truth has not finished its work. It is guiding you toward a life that aligns with what you now see. What clarity has the truth revealed to you, and how has it changed the way you walk through the world? Share below what moment of peace has anchored you in the chaos of awakening. Have you ever felt a quiet shift where the truths you've uncovered begin to shape not just your thoughts, but the way you live each day? Share in the comments what truth has changed the way you move through the world. The journey through realization, discomfort, and clarity leads you here to integration. This is not the end of awakening, but it's unfolding. The truth, once a spark that burned away illusions, now becomes a thread woven into the fabric of your life. It is no longer a distant light or a fleeting glimpse. It is the ground you walk on, the air you breathe. Integration is the art of living consciously, of letting truth guide your steps without shouting its name. Integration is subtle. It is not a grand transformation, heralded by trumpets or marked by a single choice. It is the quiet decision to align your actions with what you've seen. You begin to notice the small ways you once betrayed yourself, the compromises made to fit in, the silences kept to avoid conflict. Now, with the truth as your compass, you choose differently. You speak when your heart urges. You pause when the world demands haste. You let go of what no longer serves the person you are becoming. Picture a tree, its roots sinking deeper after a storm. The winds of realization and discomfort have passed, and the clarity that followed has strengthened its core. Now, it grows, not in dramatic leaps, but in steady, quiet increments. This is integration. You carry the truth not as a burden, but as a root system, grounding you in a world that often feels unsteady. You may still falter old habits, linger, fears resurface, but the truth anchors you. Each choice to honor it, no matter how small, is a step toward a life that feels whole. This wholeness is not perfection. It is presence. You see the world's contradictions, its beauty and its pain, its chaos and its order, and you no longer need to resolve them. You walk through life with open eyes, aware of the masks others wear, the systems that bind, and yet you choose to act from a place of truth. You listen more deeply, love more honestly, question more freely. The truth is no longer a revelation, it is a practice. Integration is not solitary. The truth you've uncovered connects you to others, to the world, to the pulse of existence itself. You notice the shared humanity in a stranger's glance, the unspoken courage in a friend's vulnerability. You begin to see that awakening is not just yours. It ripples outward, touching lives in ways you may never fully know. A kind word, a bold question, a moment of authenticity. These are the quiet acts that weave truth into the world. Yet integration is ongoing. The truth evolves as you do, revealing new layers, new questions. There are days when the old illusions tempt you back, when the world's noise drowns out your inner clarity, but you return again and again to the truth you've claimed. It is not a destination, but a way of being, a commitment to live with eyes open, heart unguarded, soul awake. As you integrate the truth, you sense a quiet power, not the power to control, but to create. You are no longer just a witness to the world. You are a participant shaping your life with intention. The truth has awakened you, not to escape the world, but to live in it fully, flaws and all. What truth are you weaving into your life, and how is it shaping the way you show up? Share below what small act of truth has changed your everyday world.